Well, we've been endeavoring to look into the nature of emptiness. Now, the emphasis is on the nature, not on the emptiness. You can explore emptiness. But when we looked up the dictionary to find out what nature, the word nature means, we found that it had many, many different meanings. And this is somewhat like the stories that are told, because it has been found that there are many, many stories that have similar elements, but have different meanings. So there is one story that is related now that's told from two different persuasions. And let's see what comes out of it for us as we hear them. The first is about a very old man who was walking along, leaning heavily on his walking stick on an icy, cold day. When he stops, because there on the side of the road was a snake, almost frozen, almost dead with the cold. So the old man had a wave of compassion fall over him. Looking at one of God's creatures, he thought, he has to help. So he took the snake and he put it up under his coat. And of course, it very quickly warmed up. But as it warmed up, it wound itself around his neck and started to squeeze. And the old man said, well, what are you doing? I saved your life. Why are you killing me now? And the snake said, hasn't it been said that man and serpents are enemies? So it's my duty to kill you. So the man said, oh, wait, let's consult someone about this. So they walked down the road a ways and they found an oxen in a field. And so they went over to the oxen, and the snake told his side of the story, and the old man told his side of the story, and they asked the oxen's advice. And the oxen said, well, I believe that the snake is right to kill you, because look at me. I've been a slave to my master all of my life. I get taken home to a cold barn at night when he goes in beside a warm fire and has hot soup, and I'm left with a bit of grass to eat. And in several years I'll be so old that he won't need me anymore, so he'll take me to the butcher's and have me slaughtered. No, kill him, said the oxen to the snake. And the old man said, well, wait, let's consult someone else. So they went down the road a ways, and again, this time they saw a goat. And they presented it in the same way, but the same thing happened with the goat. The goat said, well, what has man done for me? Look how he's treated me. Soon I'll be taken off to be melted down for use. Kill him. And the man said, we've just consulted the animals. Now let's go to another human. Let's go to King David's palace and ask, he's a great and wise king, let's ask his advice. So they went off, the old man with the snake wound around his neck and stood before King David. And King David said, well, it is said in the Holy Scriptures that man and the snake are enemies, and you got yourself into this predicament, and I'm very sorry, I can't do anything for you. The snake will just kill you. So the old man, of course, the snake started to tighten itself around his neck, And the old man staggered down the road, but it so happened that they came to a well, and beside the well there was a young man gazing into the well. But the young man looked up and saw the old man and said, "Oh, you're very pale. Can I get you a glass of water?" No, said the old man. My fate is sealed. I've been to King David, and this snake is going to kill me. And the young man said, "Well, wait. What did King David say?" And the old man related what he said. Well, the young man said, "Just wait a few moments. I've dropped my stick into this well, and I've asked some men to dig a little further so that the water of the well will rise and bring my stick to the top." "Oh," thought the old man, "this is a very wise young man." So he agreed with what was said, and the young man, when this was done, said, "Now, let's go back to King David." Well, when they got back in front of King David, it turns out that the young man was none other than Solomon, King David's son. And he asked his father permission to intercede in this matter, which King David agreed to. So young Solomon turned to the old man, and addressing himself to the serpent, he said, "It is said in the scriptures that enemies must stand up before the judge. Do you agree to do this?" Well, the snake thought yes, so he unwound himself from around the old man's neck and put himself beside the old man. And then Solomon turned to the old man and said, "Is it not said in the great scriptures that one must strike down one's enemies?" And of course the old man got the message straight away, and taking the big staff that he had, holding on and holding him up, he smote the snake on the head, and it immediately died. Well, of course, King David congratulated his son Solomon on his wisdom, and the old man went off happily. One version of this story. The second version is about a farmer who was walking down the road when he happened upon a snake. A boulder had fallen from the rocks, made an indentation in the ground in which the snake found himself trapped. So the farmer was also a man of great compassion, and feeling very sorry for the snake, he lifted the heavy boulder from its body, and it immediately wound itself around him to kill him. And again the farmer said, why are you doing this to me? I saved your life." And the snake said, "Well, it's in my nature to kill, so I'm going to kill you." And the farmer said, "Well, let's go and consult someone." So they went on the road, and they came to a paddock where there was a horse. And of course, the horse had a similar story to our first story. The horse had served his master well, carried and toted and so forth, but now he was put out to a very pasture that hardly had any grass, waiting time to go to be taken to slaughter, to be melted down. So the horse said, "No, kill him." So they went down the road a ways again, as in the first story, and again they met another animal who had the same fate. And again the stories were told, and again the animal said, "No, humans have treated me so badly. No, you do what you have to do. Kill him." So, of course, the farmer said, "No, just let us consult. One more. So they went down the road away, and it happened that a little fox came out of the forest. And so they decided to consult the fox. about this matter. So the snake told his story, and the farmer told his story, and the fox looked to the farmer and gave him a bit of a wink and said, "Oh, I haven't quite got the stories quite straight yet. I think we'll just have to do a little, can we just relive this story a little bit? Take us back to where it all started." So they trudged back to where the indentation was in the road, and the fox asked, "Now, how did this happen again? I'm a little bit, And the snake explained again what had happened, and the old man explained that he'd lifted. "No, I don't quite get it," said the fox. "Can you just relive this story?" So the snake curled himself up in the hole, and the boulder was put back on top of him. And the fox turned to the farmer and said, "Well, there's your... It's all been settled." And the fox turned to the farmer and said, "Well, now you owe me 1 chicken a week, so I can feed my family, then I don't have to raid your chicken coop." So when we hear these two stories, and we have these two versions, and know that there are many versions in many different persuasions, what is it that arises for you from this place that we've been talking about, this place where these 3 levels of existence are seamless for us? This nitty-gritty level, cause and effect, street smarts level. This level of intuition, awareness, occult, magic. And this 3rd level, where the interrelatedness of life brings compassion, empathy, pity for us. When they come together seamlessly, without any separation, we have the ingredients to be able to take all of these disparate stories, just like happened for you. What is it that arises out of these 2 stories for you, from this place, where they meet? Give it a one-liner. Aren't we caught in between? We're caught in between the teachings, the morals of life. Aren't we? Always. We have this conflict going on, culturally, morally, and even spiritually with the belief systems that we have. Where there's no truth for us. We have no foundation of truth anymore. So where are we? Where does it place us?
Trust in ourselves. The truth arises moment to moment.
It does. But when we say trust in our self, in making that
Big self.
statement, the big self.
Yeah.
So what is this big self then? that we speak of.
There's no more trace of anything of the past, so that we have nothing to carry and refer when something happens. In this place of emptiness, it's happening in a perfect way.
Yes. But we have an instance right now when it's asked of you, what is it that arises for us out of these two stories? Excuse me. Can we say one is right and the other one is wrong? Or the other is right and the other is wrong?
The feeling for me to leave things be, but there is that desire to interfere and want to fix.
And do we have an opinion about it relative to the snake and the man? Who's right and who's wrong?
You probably have an opinion, but you don't hang on to it.
We don't.
It's just our opinion. There's many other opinions. in
Yes.
there.
But this old man was empty, as he was not carrying any fear about.
Both of them had compassion.
Yeah.
So do the stories that she say don't have compassion? It might be.
Or you get choked by a snake.
Well, the truth changes in the moments.
All right.
Mm.
All right.
Someone's truth might not be another one.
Absolutely. Just like in David and in their interpretation of what we consider to be the laws of life. Got some more stirring of the pot to do. haven't we?